Thanks Jason, and thanks TJ and Robin and Sita for inviting me here. And I'm so glad to be here with some amazing poets and to enjoy their work as well. So Sita asked me to do this about a month ago, less than a month ago, and I finally got to it basically on the way back. I was just in New York, and so these are all kind of plain poems. So they're very plain. So don't, these are a light start to get you going. And when I was in New York, I saw my friend Shin Song. She's a paper cutting artist. And she has an exhibit in the Grand Central Concourse right now, in the dining concourse, which is beautiful. So if you're in New York, definitely see that. But she's also doing a video documentary about, and she's just asking people, what do you believe? So, this poem is about that, and it's also related to our subject of the day as well. So, what do you believe? What do you believe? The question fell like a rock into a bottomless pit. There was no echo in my mind, no satisfying thud of question meeting answer, no sudden splash of awareness, no eureka, no aha. She waited, camera in hand, recording my quandary. It's only when someone asks a question like that you realize how uncertain things really are. What do you believe? A clear sky is blue. We live on the earth. These things are quantifiable, and unless we resort to metaphors and philosophy, where do you really live? Where is the blueness of the sky? They are static and solved. Everything else is riddled and fogged, question marks like fishhooks for the mind in a sea where nothing's biting. What do you believe? My Buddhist psychiatrist reflexes kicked in, and I watched my tongue undulate and spin, an answer about relationship and perception. I believe we create the world with our thoughts, so we must be careful to form our intentions well, so that we reach our deepest need, love. An hour later, my belly growled, and I leaned in to hear it. I believe we all need to eat. My heart replied, yes, I believe we all need to eat, and we all need to feed each other too. The rest of my body nodded in agreement. Aha, I'd caught my fish. So Sita wanted me to start out with invocation, so I thought of a couple of poems related to spirituality and flowers, when we have edible flowers and edible flower jam on our plates today. So this first one is from Hinduism, and in Hinduism, Vishnu, the main god, kind of sleeps on the cosmic sea, and creation happens when a lotus blossoms out of his navel, and out of that blossom sits, on that blossom sits Brahma, and every time he blinks his eyes, another universe is created. So this is called Lotus Wound. The Hindus say every arising universe is a great flower being. Every big bang, a big blossom. A lotus emerging from Vishnu's navel as he sleeps on the dark cosmic sea. Dreaming of love, dreaming of us, lifting life with heroic bloom, sprouted from a belly button, a many-petaled womb of enlightenment. All the myriad beings, solar and lunar, stars and night, galactic and minute, burst forth from lotus divine, shiny golden pollen still dusting their just awakened hair. We were all gathered there in that floral hearth together. They say all suffering is amnesia, forgetting our flower birth. Thank you. And I was in New York to hear the Dalai Lama speak, and he spoke for 3 days about a very abstract concept called emptiness, which is basically that nothing has independent existence and everything is related and conjoined and compounded. And so this poem is kind of based on that from another story based on a flower in Buddhism, when Buddha supposedly picked a flower, he looked at it and smiled, and then he looked at one of his main disciples, Mahakashapa, who also smiled. And they both smiled together, and that was supposedly the first transmission of Zen mind. So this is about, and Mahakashapa is the first Zen patriarch. So this is about that moment. The Buddha lifted a flower, looked deep into its heart and smiled. His eyes met Mahakashapa's, Mahakashapa smiled right back. Mahakashapa knows, the Buddha said, beaming. They say this was the first transmission of Zen, mind to mind, Buddha making Buddha, a drop of stillness that grew into a vast and peaceful sea. They say that even flowers remember that day and will tell you of it if you listen close. To study the flower is to study the self. To study the flower is to forget the self. To forget the self is to forget the flower. Not holding to self, not holding to flower, we rest in no selfness, no flowerness. Everywhere you look is mere conditionedness, contingent, dependent, related, only in union perceived. It is, I think, something like love. No wonder the Buddha smiled. This is the 3-point instruction for training the mind. When we're told to stop and smell the flowers, is it most important to stop or to smell? Or are the flowers our prime demand? I'd say that none is complete without the others, the three a holy trinity, their union a transcendence of time. After all, we don't say, stop and scroll the news feed. A posted pic of flowers by any other name would never smell as sweet. We don't say, stop and check your email. That doesn't even count as stopping. It doesn't work to stop and tweet your poses. Your selfies, I'm sorry to say, are more thorns than roses. No, these 5 words are like Moses, leading you to another shore. They pry the clock's grasping hands loose of restless tick-tock flow. Stop and smell the flowers. Notice these beings so unlike you, each one a question from the earth, an answer from the sun. Perhaps not so unlike you after all. Our most important task is to attend to our reunion, to stop, smell, and flower. Okay. So this one is called Eating Flowers, and I apologize to anyone who speaks Mandarin here because I'm going to butcher something probably. Eating flowers, is that a thing? If you're going to San Francisco, put some flowers in your kale. If you're going to San Francisco, put some greenbacks in your pail. We're going green. Green with dollars and green on our plates. Green is on our minds and eating flowers is a thing. In Taiwan, they call the dreamers big flower eaters. Da Hua Chi. So here we are, chewing marigolds, marrying our visions of planetary cures with Epicurean gourmet tastes. We're gonna save the earth in style, baby. But sometimes I get embarrassed. It seems like a luxury, like some fancy pants shit that Ann Coulter or Michelle Malkin would put down on Fox. Those California flower-eating flakes, eating flowers, is that even American? Sounds like some immigrant shit. Seal the damn borders and eat red meat burgers, not flowers, damn it. The next thing you know, they'll be calling for social justice and peace. Damn flower eaters. But you know what? Fuck that shit. Eat your damn flowers. Flower power everywhere. Eat your damn flowers, you big flower eaters. Eat your damn flowers and dream.